We're Ian and Joe. We moved to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia in August 2019, full of excitement of the adventures and travel we were going to be able to do. Then in October 2019, we experienced the worst haze that Malaysia's had for 5 years, which closed schools and prevented us from going outside exploring. We took a weekend break to Langkawi, but little did we know this would be our last flight and holiday for a while, as the COVID-19 pandemic took hold of the world and sent Malaysia into lockdown. We did our best to explore our new home city of KL whilst keeping ourselves safe as things slowly opened up. We drove to Penang, got to see Batu Ferringhi Beach, and it's a place we really loved. And then we went to Kelantan, where our love of waterfalls began, and we definitely struggled with some local pronunciations.
Arrived at Telok Sempanang? No. We've just arrived at
Telok.
We've just Tempak Chempalok.
We celebrated Christmas away from family before we were back into yet another lockdown with no travel allowed or any end in sight. Now it's July 2021 and we have some big news to share with you.
Hey guys,
So we are back in the UK.
That's our big news. We have moved. We've moved out of Malaysia. We've left Malaysia, and yeah, we're settling back into the UK. And to be honest, I don't know if you can tell the difference in my face. Yes, I've got a little bit fatter, but yeah, just feeling so much happier. There's no lockdowns here anymore. Like, it is just like back to normal, isn't it?
Yeah, as you can see from a few of our previous videos, the last few months have been extremely difficult.
I think the last 3 months or so have been the hardest months of my life. We've had some really difficult times, haven't we? Very mentally and emotionally draining. But I think now that we're here, it was the best thing we could have done.
Yeah, it was time to go. Right place, but at the wrong time.
Yeah, and you'll see in our upcoming video what we went through trying to sell our car, go through all the checks that you have to go through to do that in Malaysia, not having a clue what we were meant to do, did we?
No.
And you'll see like how eerie the airport was. And I have to apologise now, and I have put warnings in there, but you'll see my COVID test. And
Not a fan, were you?
for those of you in the UK, you won't know anything other than being able to do your own COVID test. But in Malaysia, to have our COVID test so that we could fly, they do it for you. And I think to get a COVID test in Malaysia, you know, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments now, those people that are still there, but I don't think you can do it yourself. It is somebody else doing it for you, and you will see that it's pretty horrific. And I've got some friends who moved from China to Malaysia, and some other friends who moved from China to home, and they had to go through the same process. And I have to say, it has put me off wanting to travel anywhere for quite a while.
Yeah, we're not going to be going anywhere for a little while.
No, but we are going to be travelling around the UK, because having not lived here for 5 years, it has given me a whole love and appreciation for how beautiful our country is, and we're so excited to go and explore and see lots of different places. I think we're going to start with Manchester, and maybe head to like the Lake District way, maybe go to Scotland, not sure. You know, the reason we left Malaysia is my contract came to an end, and you know, it couldn't have been the best thing for us, I think, in the end, although it was very scary because I barely even wanted to leave the house because of COVID, let alone fly across the world. You'll also see my trials and tribulations I had in Malaysia trying to get a vaccine, as I couldn't have AstraZeneca because I have a rare blood condition, and because we knew we were coming back to the UK, I couldn't have Sinovac because they haven't approved it here. So one thing I'm very pleased about is after our 10-day quarantine, the first day I was released, the first thing I did was I went to a walk-in centre and I got my Pfizer vaccine, and I'm so happy that has happened, and I get my second one on the 19th of September, and then I am fully vaccinated. It's just a shame I had to wait so long to do that, but it was definitely a good thing for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We hope you enjoy our video and see all the trials and tribulations of what we went through, and stick with us till the end of the video.
Yeah, we've not got any jobs. We technically don't have anywhere to live. Thankfully, to living in Malaysia, we've saved quite a bit of money behind us, so we haven't got that immediate rush to find jobs straight away.
Yeah, for the first time in my life, like since 16 years old, I do not have a job, and a little scary to begin with, but actually really exciting that we've got the time to be together and to go and explore our beautiful country. And I have actually started a little business. During lockdown in Malaysia, I got into doing some different crafts. There's a limit to what I can do while I'm in the UK because I'm still waiting for our shipping, but I have started a small business of handmade crafts, so check it out. These are some earrings that I made while I was in Malaysia, so check it out. It's Handmadeopolis, and I'm on Instagram, and I'll put a link below, so if you want to go and check that out. And I also have an Etsy shop. If you're in the UK, then shipping's no problem, but if you're outside the UK and are interested in anything that I make, then send me a message because I'm sure we can work something out. So we're going to leave you now to watch the rest of our video. We hope you enjoy watching this video, and please do watch the end. It really does help us out. And don't forget all those really important things, like, what are they, Ian?
Don't forget to hit that like button and press that subscribe button as well, if you haven't already. And the all-important notification bell. So if you hit that bell, you'll get notified every time we post, which is now going to be much more regular now we're out and about in the freedom of the UK. So I've just arrived at the Bukit Jalil Stadium. I got notification that I have my first vaccine appointment today at 5 PM, and I'm not hopeful because all the things that I've seen is they're only offering the Sinovac vaccine, so I think it's going to be a bit of a waste of time today just going in and saying thanks but no thanks, as I can only have the Pfizer because I've got a rare blood condition, and also we're returning to the UK soon, so they don't recognise the Sinovac. So we'll see what happens. What a palaver that was. Oh, I'm sweating. What I will say is it's very slick. I was like, once I eventually walked through all of the stadium, as soon as I got in the tent, I had my forms and filled them out. You have someone there helping you do it. Went over to this table, said what vaccine is it, when they want to check your paperwork and stuff. I'm hot, I'm gonna have to put the engine on, I'm sweating. So check all your paperwork, check your passport. I just held it up because I didn't, the whole touching of everything. And so I said, sorry, I can't have the Sinovac. Once she said what it was and said, due to my blood condition, so I can't have AstraZeneca or anything. And I said also, I'm from the UK, and I won't be able to get the second dose if I go home in the summer. And I said, Sinovac's not being administered in the UK. And so someone try and tell me it was, and I can assure you it's not. And they made me fill out the paperwork anyway. So you have to fill it out to say, I disagree with having the Sinovac and all that stuff, and put your passport number and things. And then I had to go and speak to the doctor. I was like, are you going to try and change my mind or something? Basically said again. But before they sent me to the doctor, this woman comes over and she's like, well, have you got a doctor's note to say you need it? I'm like, would that really make a difference though? Because you've just told me you only have Sinovac here. So whether I have a doctor's note or not, surely I'm not going to be getting the Pfizer. Surely that's another waste of time. I also explained to them, I said, look, I'm sorry to waste your time. I did call the number before confirming my appointment. I tried to find out what vaccine you were administering. They told me that they couldn't tell me, and that I'd have to come all the way down here. So I had to confirm my appointment and come all the way down here. I knew coming down here today that it was going to be a waste of my time. In all the expat groups on Facebook, it was saying that it's Sinovac, but I still had to come here, go through all the palaver, and I think that's really bad, because surely the idea of all these vaccinations is to try and stop the spread of COVID. However, you're making people who don't want to have a certain vaccine come all the way down, mingle with people who haven't been vaccinated, and basically leave their house. Surely staying at home and being safe and saying no to a vaccine from your home is much better than having to go through all this process.
Please be visor this time.
So I'm here at the Bukit Jalil National Stadium for the second time. First time was last week, where I turned down the Sinovac because we can't get the second vaccine if I go back this summer to the UK. Also, I don't particularly want that one as it's been proved to only be about 50 to 56% efficacy, whereas AstraZeneca and Pfizer are way up in the high 90s. I unfortunately, as I've said in a previous video, cannot have AstraZeneca because of my blood condition, so I can only have Pfizer. I'm really hoping this isn't going to be yet another waste of time. If it turns out to be a second Sinovac, that's a bit ridiculous, but we shall see.
Here she come, guys. What do we think? Has she had it or not?
Sinovac again.
You're joking?
No, Sinovac again, and the lady showed me the long list of loads of people today have been given an appointment who rejected Sinovac at the other tent that I was at, HCOC, all rejected it last week, all got appointments for today, and they've got this long list.
I was looking at my watch thinking, oh, it's a lot longer this time, she's definitely had it.
I know you think that.
So no.
Waste of time.
Today is a sad day. We're selling the Bumblebee, which means we've got the fun task before our, and I know I'm not going to say this right, Puspakom inspection that you have to have done before you can go to the JPJ and get a transfer of ownership. You've got to take the tint off your windscreen and your two driver side windows.
Fun, fun, fun!
We don't have much luck in doing these kind of things, so it's going to be interesting. We'll see if we can do it.
Let's give it a go.
Press the wrong button.
Well, that didn't work, so...
No, we were trying like a sticky label remover. I was hoping it was going to be really easy. So, take two!
What's the point in having plug sockets in the car park and none of them work?
It's so frustrating. All we need to do is just heat up the sticker so that it will come off, but we don't have a wireless hairdryer. So I don't know what we're going to do.
Think
That
of
ain't going to work.
leave it in the sun?
I just don't know what to do. We can't leave it in the sun. We're not allowed to leave. We're in a lockdown. I just don't know what to do.
What about near the car wash? Is there any plugs down there?
I mean, we could. There is a little bit of sun over there. We could pull the car up. Oh, actually, no, we can't because that's totally where the cars come up when they're trying to park. Oh, I don't know what to do.
Welcome to Ian and Joe. This is what we go through on a daily basis.
Everything goes so right for us, doesn't it?
Yeah, we love it.
nearly conquered it. Now for the thing that we've been putting off, and I think we've only done once since we've owned the car.
She needs a clean.
A big clean.
So we've just arrived at the police station.
What are you whispering?
I don't know.
I don't know, but police kind of does that to you, doesn't it? You're like, oh, I can't go in the police station. So we're here at the police station. First time we've ever had to go to the police station since we've been in Malaysia. I just find it really daunting. I find police scary, particularly here because they have guns. So we have to get permission to move out of our apartment as we are leaving, aren't we?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they're going to give us permission. So we've got all our shipping booked, but because we're in what they call they're apparently saying we're not in the full FMCO anymore, the full movement control order, because they've now got this new national plan. So we're in phase 1, and there's like 3 or 4 phases, I think. But cases have to go below 4,000 before we're going to move to phase 2. So fingers crossed we can get permission from the police.
We also need permission for...
to go to our hotel.
Yeah, to the airport.
And then to go to the airport,
Yeah.
Nightmare. Because you're not allowed to go any more than 10 kilometres from your house, and you're certainly not allowed to drive interstate. And to go to the airport, we're going to have to be interstate. And our hotel is 11 kilometres from our house, so we thought we'd better just ask.
Be safe and sorry.
So I'm going to put on my politest voice, and yeah, fingers crossed, we'll let you know how it goes. So our forms are all submitted. I'm talking quietly because we stood just outside the police station. So fingers crossed, all goes well and we get the 3 approvals that we need.
Need a bit of luck.
Yeah, we're the most unluckiest people ever.
We are back in the car after an anxious wait.
Yeah, to be honest, I was very impressed. It was only like 10-15 minute wait, wasn't it? You had to fill out the forms, put them in the box, and the police there were really friendly, so I felt totally at ease once we went in there. And the biggest bonus is it all got approved. So we've now got permission to move out of our apartment, to travel from our apartment to the hotel we're going to stay in for the last 3 nights, and also to travel to the airport. So job's done.
One thing I would say, if you're an expat and you're alone and you come here, you will need Google iTranslate, is it?
Yeah, I use Google Translate where you can like do a photo and it will like transfer Malay to English, because the form you have to fill in is all in Malay. So yeah, Bahasa. So yeah, you might find though you've got someone who's waiting around that will be friendly enough to help. As usually, you know, most people are quite happy to help you. So but yeah, that's a good thing to note. Yeah, so download Google Translate if you're ever abroad. It's fantastic. You can transfer signs, pretty much anything, can't you? It's awesome. Yeah. So that's another thing ticked off.
Ding! Darling, why are you using furniture polish?
I've really messed up. I've thought I was being really clever because we had loads of like little marks which couldn't come off with like the normal sponge. So I used the other side of like a dish sponge, and they're meant to be like scratch free for like washing up and stuff. Look what I've done. I've scratched the hell out of it. It's not coming off, darling. This isn't working. We've got an inspection tomorrow morning to try and sell the car. How to Devalue Your Car by Joe Yardy. The next thing we're attempting is toothpaste, because apparently that's a home remedy, because we don't have the ability to go anywhere to get faster, but I don't think it's working. I feel so upset, I'm so annoyed at myself. Today we are at the, people are going to laugh if you're from Malaysia because I'm probably not saying it right, the Puspakom inspection centre. We've come to the one in Cheras. So we booked our appointment online because in the last couple of days it's opened up. All looks like we're going to move forward. And a bit confused when we first got here because there's 2 lanes. So I had to get out and go and check like where do we go. And thankfully, like, the staff here were really helpful, and so is like some of the cars in front. They've been telling us what to do. So we got into the correct lane, and then you just have to queue and wait, and now we're queued and waiting for our turn. So you have to take your registration document of your vehicle to the window that's just in the bit where you're queuing. You'll see loads of people go into it, and they just want your registration document and to see your appointment booking that you've done. And I'm really impressed with how cheap it is. Like, so you have to have an transfer of ownership inspection here if you want to sell your car to somebody before you can go to the JPJ to do the official transfer. And it's 31 ringgit 90 something, I think.
Yeah,
with
about £6 in English money.
yeah, it's so cheap. Like,
Very
you'd never
cheap.
get anything that cheap for an inspection in the UK. And so hopefully everything's going to be okay. Apparently it takes about an hour to be done, and from the looks of it, where we've just passed, we couldn't really film because it's quite covered, and there's lots of people around with
Loads of different car registrations,
Yeah.
so we don't want to do
So I think it looks like there's 3 different lanes, and it looks like your car gets driven by whoever's testing it to these different stations as you go along. So they're testing different things. I know one of the things they're testing is the tint of your windows, so that's why we had to take the tint off, which we successfully did ourselves, and well chuffed with us, we're awesome. I can't remember all the other things that it said. There's just like 3 main things they're checking. I think the biggest thing is making sure that your car's not made up of like 3 different cars, like the whole cut and shut thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just thought I'd explain the process because I was totally clueless and I couldn't find anything which told you exactly what to do. So we're now in the queue waiting to go, and hopefully you'll see us in a moment with some good news that it's all gone through okay after our hour wait.
We'll leave a link in the description to this place in case you're confused of where it is or what it's called.
Yeah, I'm also going to leave a link in the description of this really good car company who came and did an inspection of our car, as you've seen earlier. And they came to our property, they looked at the car, took loads of photos, and once we've had this inspection done, we're just going to send them a picture or forward the email that we get with our inspection, and then they're going to be able to give us a price for the car. And should we be happy with it, we just need to go with them to the JPJ and transfer the ownership, and then they transfer the money. So it's a company called Carsome.my here in Malaysia. Fantastic service so far, really impressed. And despite car dealerships being shut, although their offices are shut, they're out doing home inspections, which is fantastic for us. You know, with all the stress we've had of trying to move, we're now kind of hopefully going to be able to sell our car okay. So yeah, recommend them. We'll put them in the links below. So as I said earlier, it says it takes about an hour for your inspection, but what's really useful is while you're waiting, you can either wait outside where we're currently standing, or there's a room behind you which is like got a waiting area. There's a TV in there where they're showing like some motorbike sport, but there's a really useful screen that shows you your car registration and your estimated time of completion and kind of what stage it's at. So it's really useful, and it says it in Bahasa but then also says it in English, so great for an expat if you don't speak Bahasa and you're not local. Then you have an idea of how long it's going to be. Ours is meant to take, I think we're meant to have about another 6 minutes until it's ready. Not sure, but we can see it, so you kind of get an idea how it's doing. There's also a nice cold drinks machine, which is very good on a hot day like this.
What's the verdict?
I don't know, because I don't understand Bahasa, so I need to use Google Translate to find out what this means. I'm hoping it means I passed. Who knows? Thanks to the power of Google Translate, thank you Google, we have passed. So we've got our B5 inspection, so we can now officially
Sell the car.
Yeah, sell the car, change the ownership. So the last thing to do now is JPJ with whoever's buying our car to finalise that and then get our money. And what a relief. Like, I didn't think that we were going to get to this stage. Like, with all these lockdowns, it's been an absolute nightmare with government offices shut. It's been very stressful to say the least. So this is another thing to tick off and be like,
a few more little things to do.
Where are all these people going? This is so busy in terms of traffic, considering this is a full lockdown and an enhanced lockdown for lots of areas tomorrow. It seems like everyone is doing a mass exodus, or is there something we don't know about?
Saturday the 10th of July. We're sat here on our bed, our only bit of furniture we're going to be left with, just waiting for our shipping company, who are a little bit late, so starting to get a little bit anxious about, are they definitely coming? We're hoping so. Yeah, big changes happening. The shippers have arrived.
We've just had a notification on our app that arrived, so
It's happening.
it's all happening.
Thing all important. Oh shit! Ah! Ow! Oh fuck! Ah! Ah! Oh shit! Fucking it!
Jill was going to film me, but after her episode, shall we say, she couldn't face it, so
I was traumatised.
bless her heart. I think I bossed it. I was very nervous beforehand after seeing hers and how far it goes, but yeah, it is what it is. That's all done, thank God.
That was the most horrific experience in my life.
I'm so glad that part's over.
I just can't get over how far that goes up your nose. Like, when we get back to the UK, our day 2 and day 8 tests, we just get to do them ourselves. Oh God, my nose still hurts.
I can't believe how far that goes in. That was
immense.
Yeah.
I'm sure she's pickled my brain with that. Like, that just went so far. I've been dreading this for so long because, like, there's so much, and I know, like, fake news doesn't really help, but, like, there's all this thing about leaky brain syndrome, how it touches the base of the brain, and I'm not been surprised how far that just went.
Yeah.
Like, I can still feel that. That was
not
horrific. Nice. And I'm sure you'll find my video hilarious.
Yeah.
But I hate anything to do with hospitals, anything like that. I have been having massive anxiety about this ever since we knew we were going to be leaving. I just, yeah, awful. But I hope it gave you a laugh.
Now we can eat something.
Yeah, I'm starving. They were so late as well. So yeah, food. Morning, guys.
This is the weirdest experience being in an airport so empty.
Yeah, we've literally gone through immigration, security, and we're now at the section where our gates are, and I haven't seen a single passenger yet.
No, weird.
So strange, so eerily quiet. Like, when we arrived at the airport, it was pretty much in darkness, it looked like, because they've got all the lights off pretty much, and obviously trying to save money, and it's so eerily quiet. But looking forward to our flight now.
Definitely. Thankfully, Joe thought of bringing these.
Yeah, I saw in another YouTube video someone walking through the airport and they said how everything was shut. So, especially with the early time that we flew, it's now like 7 o'clock in the morning, so perfect time for a bit of breakfast.
Yeah, so bring your own breakfast.
Thanks, Marks and Spencer's.
Just arrived at our gate.
Yeah, we've got our plane behind us. All the hard stuff's done now, so all the worry about the weight of your bags and all that kind of stuff, especially when you haven't flown for quite a while, is a bit of a daunting thing, especially through all the pandemic and stuff, but all that's done.
Not many people on the flight, which is...
More than I thought there would be, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it's not obviously not a full flight, there's a lot more than I thought it would be. But looking forward to arriving home now, and cannot wait to see my family.